Well, welcome.
You forgot the name.
Welcome to our first podcast. What is the name?
You forgot the name already.
Yeah.
Welcome to the first podcast. It is called No Marks Allowed.
There you go.
It's going to be a podcast basically just talking about everything that we love: wrestling, movies, TV, video games. That.
There's a hair right there. Look at him. Look at him. We got him.
Now, if you guys remember when we were those guys, if you guys can't tell, we've rebranded the channel to MovieNerdMania now. But if you guys remember, we did do one podcast before where Sam was basically silent.
Yeah, listen, I had my headphones that were just like the buds in a dark room in my parents' house. But now we're here. Blue
Yeti, the microphone I picked up.
There you go.
So we won't always be doing podcasts in person together. We will have to do them separate sometimes because we have the same schedule. But we're gonna do one today, and we have no outline of what we're gonna talk about. So we're just talking at this. Gonna do fuck all, I guess. So what movies have you seen recently? What's been good?
Godzilla
Godzilla
minus one. Like, I saw it. I was at the mall over here, Desolate Mall, and I looked at my theater. I said Godzilla minus one. I said, going in there. So I saw it. Honestly, out of all the movies that have come out, that's like the best one.
I've heard it was the best one. I didn't go see it.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Once it comes out on DVD.
It'll probably come out on Max, I'm sure, at some point, so I'll probably watch it there.
And it was all in Japanese. There was no English dub, and I actually preferred that. Like, even when I watched the old Godzilla movies, I watched it in Japanese and subtitles. But this one had same thing. So I was like, all right, I want this movie. We did not get to see Iron Claw.
No.
But it is turning non-wrestling fans into wrestling fans.
Yes, I was actually talking to someone at my job yesterday, and she comes up to me because we had wrestling on in the break room, and she was like, "Have you seen the Iron Claw yet?" And I was like, "You like wrestling?" And she was like, "No, I don't actually." But that movie was so sad.
Listen, the Von Erich story is just—it's
incredibly sad.
Incredibly sad. Like, was Kevin Von Erich still alive? That's the one that's still alive?
I think so. Yeah, he's the only one.
He's like, oh, how do you live through that?
I have no idea.
But speaking of wrestling, we got the Royal Rumble.
Yes, we are going to the Royal Rumble on January 27th.
Oh my God!
Oh, we're feasting.
We're even feasting. Like medieval times, just hands feasting. Because at first I'm like, okay, it's the Rumble. It's probably just gonna be the Rumble. We're gonna probably see this is like my second pay-per-view I've watched.
This is my first.
So I saw SummerSlam, the one where it was John Cena versus AJ Styles. That was the same SummerSlam. I think Brock busted open Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not a blood person. Even with, like, my time in pro wrestling, I'm not a blood person. I think I bled from my mouth once and started screaming. But dubbed the Naruto moment when Gaara was screaming my blood. That was me, because I was like, oh my Lord. But man, this is a different Rumble. I don't know who's going to show up in the Women's Rumble.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's rumors of Sasha Banks, Naomi, AJ Lee,
and there was a video of AJ Lee training
with her Converse high things. Oh my God.
So I'm like, then now there's speculation that The Rock will be there.
Which I'm going to say it right here, right now. The Rock's showing up.
Yeah.
He's interfering in the match somehow. I think Roman's still winning that Fatal 4-Way that they announced last night on SmackDown. But The Rock's showing up.
We got to see Randy Orton, LA Knight, AJ Styles, who's yoked.
Oh my God. Like, everyone who's come back has just
yoked. I hope if I ever debut in WWE and I come back, I'm just like a 5'5", just look like a Bane, just like jacked to the gills.
Oh my God.
I go from Wario to Waluigi. And you see he's doing the thing they used to do in TNA with the No One, where he was like...
Where he's just the lone wolf,
he's just the lone. I'm like, people I love Twitter, they're just like, please, get some gear.
The jacket, he's like... Damn, he thought he wore that for sure.
Like, it was just, he's wearing like slacks, like the corporate Kane business slacks and the boots. I'm like, hey, he looks great though.
Yeah,
he honestly looks great.
They got that fatal 4-way match. They also announced last night Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. The men's women's Royal Rumble, of course, and then I think there's one more match that they announced, which is I think it's the women's championship. But
who do you think's winning?
The men's? Good question. So, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, it was Gunther. Gunther was my guy to win.
I haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't either. He did just have a kid, so he's gone. I think he's coming back at the Rumble.
Listen, I don't think I could have kids in the future because it's just like, hey, your wife just gave birth, and got a championship match like right now.
Yeah, my guy was Gunther. I think now it's probably Punk.
Has to be,
because the whole I need to main event WrestleMania thing, that feud of the century that we're gonna get with Punk and Rollins. Oh my god, just the beginnings of that. Goosebumps, bro. It's so good. It's so good.
I love the confrontation between them two, and like Rollins was going off, and then Punk's like, "I'm giving you this one.
Yeah.
The next time there's gonna be a problem." I'm
yes.
Like,
it's gonna be.
Good. And Punk looks rejuvenated.
Yeah,
like he just looks like, even with the live shows he's been doing, because he's been doing the live shows where he's going up against Dominic Mysterio. He looks great.
He does.
Like he looks genuinely happy. And again, as it's called, no marks allowed. Listen, AEW is not in a good shape.
No, it's not.
It's not, and I always said it when it first came. And I'll say this till I get blue in the face. It has the WCW feel. Came out. It was, the ratings were high and everything was going out, but then now it's starting to slowly go down. I'm not saying the product's horrible.
No.
Because I'm not that type of person on social media that's like, oh, I'm just this. I love pro wrestling in general.
Right.
I love watching everything. But it's like, between everything that's going on and then finding out that Chris Jericho's, POS human being.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I don't like, and the fact that it wasn't like addressed, like everybody was dipping and dodging, and I think he's back on TV now.
Yeah, he's been on TV.
So
the same day that the allegations came out was World's End, and he was still on the card for that pay-per-view.
I don't know. I feel like he should have been replaced with somebody.
Absolutely.
I was watching the match. I don't know if this was a work or a shoot or not, but like Ricky Starks was in the ring with him, flipped him off and tagged out.
Yep. And then Darby Allin came out and like called him a piece of shit or something like that.
I mean, Darby Allin, out of all people.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get into all that, but like, I don't know. I feel like when like allegations come out and stuff, like even if you did it or you didn't do it, I feel like it should be addressed. Because if you didn't do it, just address it. Be like, hey, rumor and innuendo, this didn't happen, blah blah blah.
And like my whole thing with this stuff too is that like Tony Khan talked about Vince so much with the hush money shit, but Tony's doing the same thing. So like you have no room to talk, and you signed Ric Flair. You have zero room to talk.
Right.
Zero.
I don't know. I feel like one day we're gonna get Triple H screen. Like I've done it. I've purchased AEW.
It's gonna be one night. Twitter's just gonna be. It's gonna be AEW's Twitter. It's gonna go Tony Khan with a major announcement.
It's not even that. You're gonna see the AEW logo, and then the W is gonna slowly come to the front. The A is gonna disappear. E is gonna come up, and the other E is gonna come up. We. That's it. That'll be just we. But it's so good to be a wrestling fan.
But before anyone takes us the wrong way, we are fans of AEW.
Yeah.
We tried to go to the show in Orlando on the 27th. We just couldn't because schedules weren't lined up.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of AEW.
Oh,
I'm a fan of a lot of the wrestlers in AEW. I just think the company is run like a wrestling fan, and you can't run a company like a fan.
Right. And there's some people on social media that don't understand that.
Right.
And I mean, those are the same people that'll always be on the other side of the guardrail, and they won't understand that kind of stuff. But there's certain ways to run places, and you could tell, like even in the indie scene. Oh, excuse me, sunny day. You could tell in the indie scene, like what places run like they're meaning business, and what places are run like they're honestly marks for themselves. Like
Right.
I go to a place in Jersey, Pro Wrestling Magic. Love you guys. That's a place run like a business. Like that's a place that they have everything done. I'm supposed to go there in February. I'm hoping that I can make it to go there, but that's a place where I love going there. I will fly there and do a show. That's like, and that's what I love about certain indie places. There's other indie places that are, meh, but you're right there.
Yeah, I'm just moving.
You're just moving. Your ass. What did it do to you?
I'm just moving it.
You're just moving it, right? But
no, but like TNA, for example, is a
TNA.
company that's run like a company.
I love TNA. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if
It's
like,
on the rise.
It's I remember the first time I got back into wrestling. It was TNA on Spike TV.
Me too. I stopped watching WWE.
It wasn't even that. Like I just wasn't watching wrestling in general.
Yeah.
And then on Spike TV, I turn on TNA and I see Sting and Mick Foley brawling to end the show.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
But TNA Impact, and when it was Impact, then when it was TNA, I love it. I love all wrestling. And I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. Our boys Nemeth is in New Japan.
Yes, it's Dolph Ziggler. If you guys don't know, formerly Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth is in New Japan, and he's going after that brand new global championship.
Man, I was like,
he recreated that meme that just went viral.
Yo,
of
the
jumping
judge,
into the judge.
I was like, not 24 hours after that, you see Ziggler dive over onto
just beat David Finlay down.
I was like, yeah, that's the first meme of January, folks.
Yeah,
that dive.
Great.
That was just.
But then the promo he cut after it was fantastic. This run for him in the Indies is like 10 years too late, but I'm excited to see what he does.
I mean, as I always say for everybody, it's never too late. Like,
no, but he was so underutilized in WWE for so long.
I thought he was going to be there forever.
Me too.
I thought he was going to be there forever.
I thought he was going to end up being like a PC guy and then maybe move to NXT.
I loved his NXT run.
Oh my God, it's great.
When he became champ, I love that.
Yeah, it was great.
That's one person, if I ever get in the future to be in the ring with, like, there's dream matches I have. And, like, that's just, and the thing is, people say, like, there are people out there that say, you're a mark when you think about these things. No. You should be inspired to wrestle people. Mm-hmm. I was told once, I was on the Jericho Cruise a long time ago, the first one. I asked advice from Colt Cabana, and he's just like, wrestle to be better. Like, wrestle people that are like, once you go up, start wrestling people that have more stuff in their craft. Like, I have dream matches galore, man. I always wanted to wrestle Paul London, Colt Cabana, David Arquette. When David Arquette was wrestling, I was like, I want to wrestle this man. Like, there are many dream matches I have, and like, hopefully, like, in the future, because I'm turning 30 this year, and I have the body of a 60-year-old, but like, hopefully, like, I could get some of these matches in, and I just want to wrestle in general.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you're a wrestler, you just want to wrestle in general. Just strive to wrestle everywhere. That's what we want to do.
Yes. That's our goal.
That is our goal. That is our
goal. You will see us at some point.
Some point. Where we keep things in the hush hush.
Yes.
For a good reason.
Yes.
A good hush hush. No, sorry, I wanted to stare at the camera.
So, had our wrestling talk. What do we want to move on to?
This year with movies, the fact that we're getting Deadpool 3.
The only MCU movie.
I'm glad.
You know what? One.
Honestly, especially after the whole Jonathan Majors thing, where now that interview that came out with him, he looks like from the Deep from The Boys. Like, it's like, it was so, people literally thought that was an SNL parody.
Yeah,
I was like, dude,
that was awful.
I was like, dude, whatever happened. Go silent for a year or two. Mm-hmm. Don't appear on anything. Just go. But this whole thing, I was like, I mean, he's not this, but it gave R. Kelly vibes when he had his own interview. Like, and he's just sitting there. R. Kelly's was a little funny. It's like, y'all killing me with it. But like, here's my thing. I'm an advocate for this because everybody's like, oh, let's recast Kang. No, we have the mutants coming back. Mm-hmm. The mutants are like a big thing now. Bring, not Magneto, not Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom should be his own threat. Kingpin, I know he's going to be the threat for the street level.
Yep.
He's going to be like the Thanos of the street level threats.
Mm-hmm.
But for Omega level threats like that, bring in Apocalypse.
Yeah. That Apocalypse was horrible.
For what it was worth at the time, I was like, okay. But it was horrible. The Horsemen of Apocalypse, I would have rather the ones in the beginning of the movie that got all killed off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are going to be like, I got to watch the movie now. Because I was watching it the other day, and I was like, because they made the Horsemen Psylocke, Storm, Angel, and Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning of the movie, he had his own Horsemen. I was like, I would rather see these people than see the other ones. But I feel like Apocalypse would be the best threat for the MCU, especially because, let's be real, we don't really have Avengers anymore.
No.
Like, we have who?
We have Spider-Man.
Star-Lord's on Earth now.
Yeah.
So he could be utilized. Star-Lord's on Earth.
We still kind of have Thor, I guess. But after Love and Thunder, I could really give a shit.
After Love and Thunder, I've never seen I've seen murder scenes.
I mean, I guess if they end up adding Deadpool to the MCU, then we have Deadpool.
We got Captain Falcon. Listen, I know he's Captain America, but this is the first time I've seen a Captain America after they get the shield not being present anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Not even in the What If show.
Mm-hmm.
The What If had Steve.
Yeah, and that whole thing with them like wanting to bring back Natasha and Tony.
I think that's been debunked. I think they're dead. I think the only time they came back was for the What If show.
Yeah.
And that's it. They're gone.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, What If season 2 was great.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, and they're making a season 3, and I hope that they put it on Blu-ray because I would have those here. But like, if you bring back Natasha and you bring back Tony, then what was their deaths for? They're like, she sacrificed herself for the stone,
right? And
he sacrificed himself to save everybody,
right?
Then you're just gonna erase that? Not
right.
Really.
It doesn't make sense.
And there's just problems with there's shows that I didn't even know they stuck, like Ironheart. I don't even know if they're
I forgot that was even being made.
Right, Armor Wars.
Yep.
I think She-Hulk 2 is getting a second season.
I mean, it did well enough. I guess it deserves.
Okay, so here's the thing. I used to like hate it, and I didn't even watch the show, so I watched it.
It's not awful.
It's not awful, but it's not for me.
Right.
That's the type of show I'll see it once.
Right.
We're good.
It wasn't for me either, but I watched
like Secret Invasion. I saw it once.
I didn't watch that one at all. I couldn't care.
Don't bother. Because you have, and that's the problem. Problem with some of these writers. And that's the thing. When you get mad at people, don't get mad at the actors. Get mad at the people writing it.
Right.
Because you have material for years. You have material. They call comic books. Like, you have this material, but then they go, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm like...
It's like I heard this, I think on the Escape Pod, if you've seen them before. They were like, it's the same thing with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder only read The Dark Knight Returns, and that's what he based all of his movies off of.
Having this conversation with I said, when I watched Man of Steel now, I saw him snap Zod's neck. I said, I know what's happening here. Because you're a Superman fan. You know damn well he would not do that.
No.
Even though that family had time to run away, we could blame the family there because they were just like, they were doing the little Kim. I'm like, go around. Like, but you know well he would either put his hands in front of Zod's eyes, fly up, do something. He wouldn't kill him. And then Batman vs Superman, that was going the Dark Knight Returns route.
Yeah.
But you made Superman
Batman.
Brooding and depressed.
Superman was Batman.
He was Batman who could fly.
Literally. Superman was Batman.
And it's just, there was no Clark to me.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Clark. And then even with the Kents, it was like, what was I supposed to do? Let them all die? Maybe. Jonathan. And then when his mom is like, well, like you don't have these people don't deserve anything from me. I was like, Martha. I'm like, what is going on? Like the Kents always told him to be hopeful.
Mhm.
He was always a man like the cat's on the tree. He'd shake the tree so the cat could come down. Like Christopher Reeve's Superman is just the epitome of what Superman is.
Yeah.
And you know who else is? And I will say this because to me this is the best live action to date. Like as much as I love Brandon Roth in The Crisis of Infinite Earths when he was the Kingdom Come Superman,
Mhm.
and I just love this send off where he was flying at the end. He was
Mhm.
happy. I was like, that's cool. Superman and Lois.
Yeah. Yes.
That is the epitome of Superman.
Yeah.
And they have their last season this year,
Mhm.
which I'm excited for. But that is the best live action Superman to date. I will die on that hill in front of everybody.
And like, I'm not a Superman fan, to be honest. Like, I didn't really like Superman growing up, but I know what Superman's supposed to be. And Man of Steel and or Batman versus Superman is not.
Here's the thing. The only time in Man of Steel that he was really Superman is that flying scene when he was
Yeah.
genuinely happy because he figured out how to fly.
Yeah.
That was the only time.
Yeah.
And then like towards when he was fighting Zod, because he mentioned that like when Zod mentioned he had to kill everybody, and he was like, no, that was Superman too. He would try to find peace between everybody instead of trying to kill everybody.
Right.
But, I don't know and then some of the Snyderverse, like I'm just on Twitter,
I'm gonna say this right now: the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League was a waste of 4 hours of my life.
Here's the thing, because a rebuttal with that one. That should have been a two-parter.
Yeah.
Should have been a two-part. And you know where the Snyderverse failed is when they tried to compete with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And they started rushing things.
Mhm.
Had they not rushed things, had they said, all right, we're our own thing, we're going to do our own stuff, because that's why Justice League came out the way it did.
Yeah.
Because they were rushing to compete with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened. So with me, it was like, if they would have taken their time, things would have been great. We needed Man of Steel. We needed our own Batman movie. We had our own Wonder Woman movie.
Yep.
Have a movie with all three of them together.
Yep.
Then do a Justice League movie where you could have Green Lantern, The Flash, who's not a criminal. Listen, I made this
Fuck
joke.
you, Ezra Miller.
I made this joke and I'll say it now. If Jonathan Majors was in WB, him and Ezra Miller would be the crime syndicate. Like one of them would be Ultraman, and one of them would be Johnny Quick. No, Majors would be Powering, and Ezra Miller would be Johnny Quick. Because that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with the whole thing what Jonathan Majors did, he gets fired. WB kept Ezra Miller.
Right.
WB kept Amber Heard in Lost Kingdom of Aquaman.
Right.
I was like, wow, they made a crime syndicate movie. Amber Heard could have been Superwoman. like you had the keys. We just needed Jeffrey Dahmer to be Ultraman.
Oh my god!
Oh
my god, that's wild.
Hey, I love you so. That show was wild.
Dahmer. Yeah.
Oh, I was stressed out in that room over there. I was like sweating like a Christmas ham.
But anyway, back to Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool.
Yeah, we went into the tangent.
We way off. Deadpool 3 is coming out this year. I don't know if they have like an exact release date.
April or May?
April or May, something like that. Deadpool 3 is looking like it's going to be probably the best MCU movie we've gotten in a really long time.
Hugh Jackman in the suit. And here's the thing, because people are like, "Oh, how are they gonna make it seem like that's Wolverine?" Because in Logan he died. I was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
that could be the Wolverine from after in the end of Days of Future Past.
Correct. It is the Fox universe, so it could be from any of the X-Men.
Yo, he goes Fox universe movies.
That's what I mean.
The Fantastic Four movies, if they get them back,
dude. So
I thought I heard something.
There's a ghost in here. Apparently. No, but I heard that the director of Deadpool 3 said that it was like the easiest thing to get the cameos for them. Patrick Stewart, whatever the guy's name who played Reed Richards. Like we might get the original Fantastic Four back with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, bro. Oh my god.
Jessica Alba, Sue Storm again.
Oh my god.
Like that's gonna be incredible. And like, you know what I loved, because you don't see these anymore. When the set leaks were coming out, then Ryan Reynolds did his own set leaks, and after that, they just all stopped.
Yep.
Like you don't see them anymore.
No.
Like that's what I love, because he put the Predator in one of the set leaks. Mickey Mouse is just sitting there, just like
I like how all the sets are practical. Like that one set leak picture where it was like the 20th Century Fox logo. That
but that's the thing. That's refreshing.
It's so
because
refreshing.
everything with Marvel's been behind a green screen lately.
And the green screen lately in Marvel has been awful.
Them VFX people need years off.
Dude, I went and looked back at the scene in Multiverse of whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
The scene where Strange and I forget her name from the Illuminati were standing and they were just kind of like looking, and in the background, dude, you can see the black outline of the cutout of their body.
Well, here's the thing. Patrick Stewart said, Sir Patrick Stewart.
He's knighted. He's knighted.
He said that he wasn't there. He was in an empty room doing his line. And, like, that's sad. Like, that's very sad.
That movie could have been so good.
Okay. I'll say it. I'll say it here. Put me on record.
All right.
The movie should have not had Wanda as the villain.
Sinister Strange.
Right. Correct. I did a whole video on fixing that movie.
We'll link it in the description.
Because Sinister Strange was working for one of the Kangs. Have a variant of Kang that works in magic. There you go. How easy would it have been? And then Wanda could have been helping, because that was the original thing. She was supposed to help Strange. That was the whole premise. Her and Strange dealing with the magical threat, which was probably Sinister Strange. And if you like literally watch the movie and like certain scenes, you're like, this was supposed to be about Sinister Strange. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be about Wanda.
It was also supposed to be rated R. It was supposed to be very violent. That scene where Wanda snapped Xavier's neck, she was supposed to rip it completely off.
But if you watch it like slowed down, she rips his head off, like legit. And I'm like,
and she's supposed to carry it back with her through like whatever the portal was that she comes back through, and show it to the Black Bolt and stuff.
And I don't care what people, because people argue with me, oh, that's a different Illuminati. I don't care. They were wasted. Yeah. They really were wasted. My boy John Krasinski was wasted. Waste. And now...
let's get into the Fantastic Four rumors, huh? Speaking of Deadpool and 20th Century Fox, Fantastic Four, which we were supposed to 18 times within the past month get a cast reveal. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
So it's not the Fantastic Four. It's the four of us. Like legit. Like, I love Pedro. Don't get me wrong. Right. I love Pedro Pascal. Yes. Great actor. I've seen him in his roles. I love it. Doesn't fit like Reed Richards. Just like Stephen Yeun didn't fit the Sentry, and now he's gone.
Correct.
And it was because of scheduling things. I was like,
now, Pedro Pascal wasn't confirmed to have signed a contract as Reed Richards, but it is the most like concrete rumor we've had since casting. Yeah,
but again, we were supposed to get the castings like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like every time, we're gonna reveal it. We're gonna. The thing is taking longer than the Epstein list at this point. I'm just like, I just want to know who's Reed, who's Johnny, who's like. I think they'll do it after Deadpool 3.
Probably. I feel like maybe Deadpool 3 will have like an end credit scene that has to do with Fantastic Four.
Well, I feel like, you know what? I said this for years. When the late and great Stan Lee passed, Deadpool should have been the person that has the cameos. Ryan Reynolds. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a ton of sense that he would appear. Because that's how he was in the comics.
Yeah.
Like
he'd just show up randomly.
He would just show up. Even in the Lego games, he just shows up randomly. Like, I see him in the background. I'm like, what are you doing over there, big guy? Like, I feel like he should be the next person that takes over for the cameos. Yeah. Because we don't have Stan Lee anymore. I wish we did, because then a lot of things would not be the way they are.
Yeah.
Wouldn't get a movie like the Marvels. Listen, again, I don't disrespect the actors. It's just
it's the writing.
I don't like when people come in, they have comic books to work with. They go, no, I want to do this for the modern audience. I want to take my own spin and do it. It's like, I get it. Characters need to evolve over time and adapt. They can't be the same cookie cutter person they were, but keep what they were in there still. Don't drastically change the character. It's like Star Wars now. I don't have any. I don't. I watched the sequels. I don't have anything against Ray. I don't have anything against things. But now the one director came out saying, "Oh, we're gonna have the women leading Star Wars." I'm like,
I think they just let her go though. I think it's someone else.
They probably heard that and they're like, oh.
But the crazy thing is that the woman that was in charge of Lucasfilms, George Lucas, put her in charge before Disney bought it, and put it in the contract that she was not allowed to be fired.
Great.
So I'm sure that contract is up.
Oh.
I'm sure they let her go.
Well, like, I'm like, listen.
Those movies weren't bad.
Here's the thing with me.
One of them was.
Here's the thing with me, and I'll say this just to clarify. I have nothing against women leads. I've grown up with Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connors. I like Sarah Connor, not Kirk Connors. Sarah Connor. Like, I've had their action figures when I was younger, and those were straight badass women. They didn't need to say any lines like they did in the Dark Phoenix, which I almost had a phoenix of a moment of having a brain aneurysm, where Mystique goes, "Oh, you should just call us the X-Women," and then she dies the next scene. That was crazy. Or Captain Carter, I love you, but in Multiverse of Madness, I could do this all day. Get sliced like a pepperoni.
Yeah.
And that fight scene, I was like, all right, you took the two guys out, and now somehow Captain Carter is keeping up with all this. But let me digress, because again, I love women leads. The story I just wrote that I'm promoting has a woman lead, but there's a difference when you write it to be entertaining, and then there's a difference when you write it to push like some sort of narrative.
Yes.
Like, because apparently with the Fantastic Four, again, this is rumor and innuendo. I always take rumors with a grain of salt.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Always. But apparently with the Fantastic Four movie, it's supposed to be led by Susan Storm, and Reed Richards is supposed to be a dick. Which makes no sense unless you're in the Ultimate Universe where he becomes the Maker, which he is a dick. But
that's how you're going to introduce the Fantastic Four to us?
But the thing is that...
In the MCU, too?
But that's the problem with some of these people writing this stuff.
Yeah.
Is that, like, listen, I get it. We live... Okay. Okay, I'm ranting. Here. I'm going to say this on record. All those podcasts out there that talk about men and women, how they all ain't crap, stop. Get help. I get it. You're hurt. You're traumatized. Whatever. Get help. I got help. You could get it too. Now, when it comes to writing stuff that I love, just go to the comic books. You have things.
So much.
I read the MCU before the MCU came out.
Right.
Like, go back. I want you to go back to the beginning of the MCU when we had Iron Man, when we had Captain America, all the way up to, honestly, everything's gone downhill since Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you really look at it, everything's gone, because the movies were fire.
Yeah.
Civil War, Winter Soldier.
Yeah. There was definitely a few in there that were like not good, like Dark World, you know.
Okay. I'll say this too. I'd rather watch Dark World than Love and Thunder.
Of course. For sure.
Oh, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch it right now. But like, it's just, there was a magic back then, the MCU, that there is not now.
No.
It is missing that magic, and I think it's also because of the fact that they're pushing things out every other month.
Right.
And every other, like, people say, "Oh, why do I have to watch 3 shows and 2 movies to understand what's going on?" We didn't do that back then.
No.
We had, when the Avengers came out, what do I have to watch? Iron Man? Captain America? Thor?
That was basically
it. Because they introduced Hawkeye.
Yep. Black Widow.
They introduced them in Iron Man 2 and Thor, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barton was in the first Thor. He was introduced. And then Black Widow was in Iron Man 2.
And they didn't even introduce Hulk until the Avengers, right?
Because he was technically Ed Norton.
He was Ed Norton first, but Mark Ruffalo didn't get introduced until the Avengers.
Right, because you knew he was Ed Norton's because he's like, he had a whole thing in Harlem.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But you watch a movie like that, and then you watch what we've gotten, night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
And all my Wanda stands out there. Yeah, I'm sorry, they butchered her writing.
Yeah.
Because she was doing great with, when I look back into Wanda's character, like with Age of Ultron, with Infinity War, Endgame, her writing was great.
Yeah.
But then I'm sorry, they made her stupid in WandaVision.
Yeah. They made some bad
decisions. They made some very bad decisions writing-wise. Now, when I look back at it, it's the writing, and they just made some bad decisions. But I really hope that Deadpool turns it around.
Yes.
That we finally feel like comic book fans watching movies again.
I think it is a very, very good thing that it is the only MCU project.
I mean...
And then after this, I think it should be like a 2-year break.
They should take a hiatus.
Yeah.
We should get the Wolverine game.
Oh. Speaking of that, we're gonna get into video games now because I want to talk about those leaks for Wolverine.
They will get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they will get in trouble.
I want to start by saying, if you are a video game platform anywhere on the internet, and you go and purposely leak something that you hacked into Insomniac or whatever, and you go and leak something, you're a piece of shit. Let the companies release it on their own.
You know what I think about that too? If they do that, those people should get their stuff banned. Like
absolutely.
And like when they buy the game, there should be a thing with like a code in the game that you have to do, like a digital code. And if you've done it and they track it, you can't play the game. Right. So you just paid $60-something for nothing.
Right.
You can't play the game.
Right.
And even with the leaks, I saw the leaks. I had to because I was like, okay. People were complaining about it. They were like, oh, Wolverine sneaking around. I was like, obviously you've never read a Wolverine comic in your life.
Or watched the movie The Wolverine.
Right. He's sneaking around.
He's in Japan fucking just sneaking all the way around.
Oh, he collects things? I'm like, you obviously don't know. You think he's a berserk machine running around killing people like the Punisher. And even the Punisher, some people don't know how the Punisher operates. He doesn't just go into a bank and start shooting up the... No. Read comic books before you start posting stuff on the internet, and stop doing it for clout.
Just do research.
Just do research. Literally, if you have a phone, right?
Everyone's got one.
Like you can literally look stuff up, and it's like now when people are like crapping on Spider-Man 2, the Insomniac game.
Yeah, because the story was short. That story was fan-tastic.
You know what the best thing is when people say the story is short? I was like, "Do you play any side missions?" No,
exactly.
No, you didn't. You didn't play any side mission. There's no seasoning on your food.
Right.
Like
you got white people chicken.
Right. You got the Caucasian Oasis. No, it's
I checked my playtime on Spider-Man 2 over 30 hours. That was just doing the game and the side mission.
And then the collectibles you can run around with. I'll tell you something. When the first Spider-Man game came out, I collected all the backpacks, put all the satellite towers up before I even progressed in the story.
Yeah, I did too.
I was like...
I wanted to do everything else first.
Like, oh, there's a crime over here. I'm like, wait.
Backpack.
Why is that on?
That means that we're recording. If it's flashing, mute it.
I thought it was muted. I was like, look. If we...
We're going to mute ourselves.
Oh! But like...
The cops outside.
It's also but with the second story, people were complaining that Harry's Venom was. I was like, bro, it's not Eddie.
We have knew that since the end of the first game.
I'm like, it's not Eddie. And then someone on Twitter was like, why does he say we a lot? I was like, literally 2 people in one person.
Like I saw all those tweets about being like, who's going to be Venom in this game? Who's going to be Venom? And I'm like trying my best not to comment on every single one, being like, are you dumb?
Yeah, Norman.
Watch the end credit scenes. It's fucking Harry. Norman goes like this on the glass, and then you see
it's Betty Brant.
Yep.
Yep. I don't understand. Okay. And please, can we leave this in 2023 as well? All the negative critics talking about video games that they never picked up. Like, I love the negative critics. Oh, this game is terrible. This, and this. I was like, you play on Xbox. You can't own Spider-Man. The only way you could own Spider-Man is if you play Lego Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or have the Spider-Man skin on Fortnite. So stop. Like, I love when people base their criticisms off of leaks and off of, like, trailers.
Yeah.
Like, trailers are trailers for a reason.
Right.
It's not going to show you everything.
It's most of the time, it's never even going to show you gameplay.
Here's the thing, and it's also because I'm getting the game next month, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
That game leaked, and people were dragging it. People brought in Kevin Conroy's name into it.
Which I found out, too, those leaks
are fake.
Aren't true.
The guy literally said, oh, I took it out of context and this, and that. I said, and it got real quiet on Twitter, or the X realm, as I call it. It got real quiet from those people. They haven't said a word. And some of you people owe an apology for dragging Kevin Conroy's name into it.
Let that man rest.
Because it was just like, oh, this is his last performance. They should be ashamed of himself. Leaker comes out with, I may have taken things out of context and things weren't all that there. And it was quiet. You hear that? Hold on. That was them. That was all the people that said a lot. And I'm getting that game. And I'm going to have fun. And that's the thing. I go into things with an open mind and having fun. May it suck? Probably. Marvel's Avengers, the game,
was awful.
But
we all thought it looked good.
Honestly, it got a little better when everything is in the game now.
Minus Spider-Man, because that was awful. Hey, listen.
But here's the thing, like.
But with the Wolverine thing, though, with the leaks, I was blown away.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Uncharted. And Uncharted is one of the best video games ever made.
I was blown. It looks like a mix of Uncharted and God of War.
Yeah.
And I am just excited.
And I just saw an article the other day. Your health will deteriorate and regenerate based on what you're doing.
And here's my thing. Because we got one of the best Wolverine games back in the day was for the movie Origins.
Right? Yeah.
The game was better than the movie.
It was so good that it was banned in like 7 countries or something.
And the game was just incredible. I hope that it's on Steam. If I get the Steam Deck, I hope I could play that again. That game was incredible. And people were like, oh, this. I'm like, you obviously didn't play that game in your childhood. You probably lived in Australia where it got there. Like that, I mean, Australia is a DLC in itself. The animals in Australia.
Oh my God.
I always wanted to just fight a kangaroo. I don't know. But honestly, let's stop leaking things. These companies are working hard to get us products. Back in the day, we got one trailer and that was it. Yep. We were hyped. Like, if you look, like, we were grateful for what we got back in the day growing up. Like, I'm a 94 kid. Like, I was grateful having 64 games. I was grateful getting PS2 games. And now, everybody just nitpicks every single little thing.
Yeah.
And here's what I say. You don't like it, don't buy it. Don't look at it. Like, if it's like, oh, I don't want to buy this game. Oh, I don't want to see this movie. So then why did you go see it? And why did you buy it?
Why are you spending your money on something that you know you're not going to like?
It was like the Last of Us 2 game.
Exactly.
When, I mean, spoiler alert, I mean, you're too late. Joel's dead. And people thought he was going to go out in a blaze of glory, like Rick in The Walking Dead did when he blew up the bridge, and then he's alive and has his own show coming out. Yeah. I wish I could regenerate. But he died getting killed by Abby with a golf club. And I remember the internet exploding with all negative criticisms, because then they make you play as her. Honestly, here's my thing. I'll say this, because I got to play it in the day. I would never want to be ops for Tommy.
No.
All those body bags when they were like, oh, these are all the people that got killed, and it was him. This man walked with a sniper rifle in hand and shot the guy in front of him. I was like, Tommy was running on demon time, and I can't wait to see that in the
show. Yeah, which I hope is multiple seasons. And also, I have seen the casting for Abby.
John Cena.
Yes. Keep her protected at all costs, because
wait, sorry. Because I remember the pictures of John Cena photoshopped as Abby. Just I'm like, yeah, but no, please
keep her protected,
because people don't understand how to separate reality and fiction. Like,
keep talking. I'm gonna check the camera.
Yeah, check your camera. Do what you gotta do. But like, honestly, if that thing is dead. Is it still there? It's dead. I am gonna cry.
Me too.
But I mean, we have the audio, so we could just keep it as like an audio thing too. Is dead? Okay. Let's keep.
How long?
We'll keep going. We'll keep going because you could always put a picture of those guys and have this as a podcast style. I don't mind. Wow, this like corroded in there. Man, a little intermission right here. As I'm
Video will be back hopefully.
I'm curious.
End it off here.
Oh, it ain't coming out. Oh, you gotta wiggle it. Yeah, give it a little wiggle room. You need a knife or something? Ah, there you go. It's hot. We're here. We're live. I told you this first episode is just gonna be nonsensical. So 5 minutes. Oh, that's fine. Doesn't move. Oh, tell me. I'll laugh. I'll laugh right now. Huh? Yeah. I think well, right here, we're at 40. Yeah, we're at 46 minutes and 50 seconds. That's fine. That is fine. I don't care.
We have 38% on this battery.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. We'll
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. This shit. Whoa. Crazy what I'm about to say. I did a good angle.
All right. Glad I got up and checked that.
Yeah, because we would have been talking to a blank screen.
We got about 10 minutes left to record.
Yeah. Well, we can wrap it up.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up
trust
here.
me, there's going to be more of these.
There will be more. We're sorry about the technical difficulties we keep happening, but my camera batteries just decided not.
As I tell everybody, we all start somewhere.
We all start somewhere.
Right.
But like we said at the beginning of the podcast, we have that Royal Rumble video coming up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We will be doing a vlog there for this channel. Mm-hmm. I will be doing a show review on my channel, Lariat Central, which is going to be linked in the description. Sam, I will link your channel in the description.
I'll probably do something.
He might do something over there too. But we will also talk about it on the pod or something like that.
I think my first video that's coming out is going to be about Apocalypse from Marvel and like why he should be the new villain. So I got to start working on that. So my headphones come in today.
All right.
So I should be recording that on my computer and I'll have it probably by Rumble time too.
And also, I did just want to mention before we go, we have been gone for a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
And we have been gaining subscribers.
We have?
We've gained at least 10 since.
Grinch video.
It is the Grinch video.
Yeah,
Christmas came around and the Grinch video is going a little wild again. But I appreciate the support, guys. I really do.
We appreciate it. We had to do a rebranding because honestly, when we see those guys, I was looking the other day. There's a lot of them, like channels that have been dead, channels that are still trying to go. So I was like, we need to broaden our horizons here. Yeah. So we got a rebranding. We're here. We're going to be doing. I feel like this would be fun to do if you ever want to stop by.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know for a fact when WrestleMania comes, we should do a live podcast as it's going on in the background.
Yes, that is a great idea.
I know with copyright because WWE India.
But as long as we don't show.
Yeah, so probably you see us.
It's just us.
And you'll probably hear it in the background. But that's it. So we got a lot of stuff coming and
a lot of good stuff coming.
I'm the type of person now that I don't want to sit here and like promise you stuff and then like nothing ever happens. We just keep it in the hush hush. When you see us, you see us.
Right.
And yeah, there you go. So you got his channel, my channel, our channel, description, all the description. Also gonna plug in because all my wrestling fans out there, I actually do on Twitch WCW 2K. It's a what if of me doing WCW modernized. There's no commentary because I hate my voice. So it's just things that are happening. So I'll give him the link for that too.
And I do want to make one announcement that I haven't told you about. We are going to be starting a series here soon. I have my spinner belt that I want to be using for this channel. We're going to be doing a prediction for Royal Rumble.
Okay.
We're going to be predictions for every pay-per-view. We're
Okay.
going to be doing predictions, and we're going to be tossing around that belt. Whoever wins the predictions gets the belt. And we'll be doing that on our channel just to keep you guys a little bit more entertained with it without the vlogs.
We should also check out the NXT pay-per-view.
Yes, we'll hit up an NXT show at some point. But we'll do that. So once again, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate the support, and we will see you guys whenever the next video comes out, which is probably the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So, see ya.